Hey onesies, Josh Williams here, and thanks for checking out the One Man Podcast. There's now over 200 episodes and dozens of bonus interviews, all of which are available at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, and many more. And you know what? If you don't have any of those apps, no big deal, because you can listen anytime at onemanpodcast.com. So be sure to subscribe because it's always free and there's a new episode out every Wednesday. And while you're at it, leave a review. It's a great way to help the podcast and it doesn't cost you a thing. Follow One Man Podcast on all the major socials and you'll get bonus content and pictures, fun stuff for yourself. And finally, if you have something that you want read on the show, send it to contact@onemanpodcast.com because if you send it, I'll read it on an upcoming episode. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy.
What's up, everybody? This is DJ Demers.
I'm K. Trevor Wilson.
Hey, it's Krista Allen.
Hi, this is Rick Mercier.
What's up, guys? This is Paul Verzi, and you are listening to the One Man Podcast. Yeah!
My name is Josh Williams, and welcome to the One Man Podcast, episode number 220 for Wednesday, July 28th, 2021. How's it going, onesies? How are you guys doing this week, huh? Is it the best week ever? And welcome if you're a first-time listener. Maybe not a onesie yet, but onesie curious. Who knows? You might be wondering, what the hell is this podcast? Someone told me about it. Probably I myself may have even told you about it in passing. We were saying, oh my God, you have a podcast? What's it called? I can't wait. It'll probably be hilarious, as our face-to-face interaction most likely was. But then you hear this and you go, it's kind of just you talking. Well, sometimes. What this is it's a podcast about me, okay? It's about what's going on with my life, personally, professionally, what I'm doing, and I tell you about the week that I just had. So that's what we're going to be talking about this week. I'm going to tell you guys about, I watched another one of those heist, I don't want to say documentaries, but it's like a, 6-part series with 3 stories, right? Each story has 2 parts. I watched the one called The Bourbon King, and that was the one that they're playing on the little trailer when you hover over it on Netflix. And it caught me because it was about the Buffalo Trace Distillery. And let me tell you, all right, being a whiskey guy, I like the stuff that Buffalo Trace makes. Buffalo Trace makes, of course, a very good budget bourbon called, Buffalo Trace. Absolutely delicious. Oh my God. I was getting right into it. I'm just trying to give you guys the goddamn index of the podcast. So we're going to talk about the Bourbon King. All right. I did a promo for Jazz Apples. I have been doing my Cadillac Fairview promo at the Rito Center, which has been absolutely phenomenal. I'm having so much fun, and that's probably what the bulk of the episode is going to be about this week. I've been getting into the self-care. I guess the hygiene regime. And that's not me saying, hey guys, I finally figured out how to shower. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, like, I have been upping my game. Because again, the type of soap that I use and the beard oils I'm using, that's my biggest problem, right? Not the giant tub of shit in front of me on the stomach. No, that's not it. It is what oils and scents, fragrances, if you will. Fragrances is when you know what you're talking about. You go, this thing smells. Right? But that's not what you hear. What does this thing smell like? This thing stinks like woods. And then one person is like, this has a fragrance of deep woods, citrus, and musk to it. Anyways, all I'm saying is I am getting more and more into, and my shower. I'm like, I'm not quite a chick in the bathroom yet, but it's starting to creep up. I'm fucking walking. First off, I have to hide my shit because my roommates will use it. I gave Jason a bar of this subscription soap. And if you're a male, you've probably been advertised it to you. If you're female, you'll never know. But you know what? These guys don't sponsor me or pay me to give them a free plug. And plus, they're already all over the fucking internet. So I have a soap subscription to this company. And I'm happy with their stuff. It's just expensive. So if they can afford to advertise everywhere but the One Man Podcast, well then fuck them. But I gave Jason a bar of these soaps, and I just said, hey, try it. It was actually a sinister goal. I was kind of hoping that I would get Jason addicted to it, and he would have to get a soap subscription as well. Just like, hey, isn't this great soap? You old fuck. Do you like it? Yeah. You gotta have it now. Nope, that was it. First time's always free. I'm like a soap pusher, except I have nothing to gain except just Maybe secretly in the back of my head, I'm like, you know what? If somebody else loses their mind and gets a soap subscription, maybe legitimize what I've done. Maybe I'll feel better about my own soapscription. The only thing is that like, I'm talking right into it. So, I've also got a lot of beard products this week too. So I'm doing the beard oils. I'm watching YouTube videos while I'm doing other things, learning about the differences between, beard butters. You guys hear that? I just whacked the mic with my hand. I'm now using a Gator Frameworks arm that keeps the mic up off the table out of my way. No music mic stand next to me. I've already talked about this, but I'm just saying, like, this is just an example of it. I full on was talking. I brought my hand up to my face to touch my beard, and I fucking punched the microphone. It spun a good 2 inches the other way, and nothing. Heard nothing. So that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm investing in podcast equipment and changing things up so that I can still be a lunatic, flap my arms around, and it's not as affected as it once was. So, what else? What else, Joshua? Beard oils. Yeah, that's what I was talking about when I punched the mic. I got beard oils, right? I already had some. Crystal bought me a bottle of Prorazo beard oil years ago. And I just wasn't using the beard oil that often. I thought I was supposed to use it like in case of, here's the thing about me. I don't research things, and I'm just starting to get to a point in my life where I'm like, if I want to know something, I research it. So, I remember getting beard oil because I was like, I thought it was just supposed to keep the hair soft. Okay. This is what my dumb brain thought, but it was like, but I also wear a lot of black because I'm a big dude and black's thinning. So like I would have like little just dry dust every now and again on my shirt. And of course it's because my skin under my massive Odin's beard, was drying out. So, it needs to get water and vitamins and things like that. Your skin gets stuff from the sun. Right. And I'm like, well, I gotta, I guess, didn't put two and two together. So the whole idea of beard oil is to moisturize your skin under your beard and give your beard a little bit of, hydration. But generally speaking, the oil is predominantly, to give some nutrition to your skin under the beard, right? To prevent that kind of beard dander and stuff like that. And ever since I've been using my beard oils, it's gone. It's fucking gone. But I had this one bottle of Prorazo that I haven't used in forever. So I'm going through that. That's my daily beard oil right now. And that's not a plug for them. That's just, I think they're like you can buy them at Shoppers Drug Mart or Rexall or, let's go, Walgreens for my US listeners. Let's go. I can't fucking think of one in the UK. I know there was one that I went to and I would have been able to think of it if I didn't just pull it out of my ass right now, but, yeah, there's, it's your average, it's a decent product. It's probably not cheap, but at the same time, you can get it anywhere. I'm starting to fuck with these ones that are all like, direct to consumer from online. So anyways, the Prorazo is what I've been using, and I'm going through it finally because I'm not just using it like once every few weeks. So, yeah, that's what I'm using now. I'm using my Cedar Citrus. There you go. I'll say the name of the soap, but if you want to go do your research and find out what soapscription company is sending me Cedar Citrus soap, do that. Yeah. And this is again, just the footnotes of me telling you, we're going to talk about beard oils. We're going to talk about soaps. We're going to talk about giving away stuff at the Rito Center. We're going to talk about giving away apples. That was a promo I did. And the heist, the Bourbon King. So let's just fucking get into it there, bud. Okay. The Bourbon King. Okay. This was one about Buffalo Trace Distillery, a guy who worked at Buffalo Trace Distillery, and he was stealing. He was teefing things at the Buffalo Trace Distillery. Buffalo Trace is a great bourbon. If you're, enjoy a good whiskey, it's a great budget bourbon. It's literally called Buffalo Trace, but Buffalo Trace also does, 1792, bourbon. They do Blanton's, which is very popular. It comes in a bottle. It looks like the holy hand grenade from, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. They do Weller. They do Eagle Rare. They do E.H. Taylor. And they also do, Pappy Van Winkle, which is like one of the unicorns of bourbon, of whiskey, I should say. It's one of the hardest whiskeys to get your hands on because there's so little of it. Anyways, in this documentary, it's a guy who was basically working at the distillery, and he would snag they were just talking about there's this good old boy culture in Kentucky where, there's the law, and then there's, there's like two rules one understand. There's like, there's the law, and then it's just because there's the law doesn't mean I'm going to follow it or whatever. It was like, I don't know. I don't want to say it was like justifying it, but everyone they were interviewing on this documentary, even just like locals, they were like, yeah, it's kind of that like Duke's a Hazard moonshiner mentality where it's like, them Duke boys is up Shit's Creek without a paddle. It's that kind of shit. So the documentary was interesting because this guy was like, I worked at the distillery, and there was guys that, would just say, hey, like, here, grab a bottle of this, and after your softball game, have your whiskey with the boys. So it's like, if you worked there, you got free booze. It's just the way it was. Even the good shit, you could just grab a bottle and whatever. And then this guy slowly, had someone over at his house one time and, gave him some of the Pappy Van Winkle, and it was like, oh, this is fucking great. He's like, how much of this you got? And he's like, look, he's like, if you can get me, a case of that or whatever, I'll pay. He's like, look, he gives him 2 bottles for this. Look, that's all I got. You enjoy, just, no, or whatever. The guy comes back the next day, throws a wad of cash at him. And he's like, that's for the bottles you gave me. And if you got more, there's more of that where that came from. And he was like, oh, well, fuck me. And, and then it started to be like, he would steal some bottles, then he would steal some cases. Then they started stealing him and his buddies. He had a buddy who worked for Wild Turkey, and they would steal, kegs, barrels of the stuff. And it just became this like, they were stealing like this really hard to get whiskey. I'm watching this thing. I know every bottle that they're talking about. I've got bottles of E.H. In fact, E.H. Taylor was the only one that never got any screen time, and I don't think any mention either. But I got a few bottles of E.H. Taylor. That's another hard one to get. I'm very happy to have a few bottles on hand. So, yeah, I got a couple bottles of Blanton's. I got some bottles of Weller's. I've got one of the bottles of the regular Eagle Rare, which is absolutely delicious. But they spent a lot of time talking about the 10-year-old Eagle Rare, which I've never seen in Ontario. But I've seen it. I've seen it on the lottery thing. I would love to win that there lottery. I'd love to win that there. That'd be so good. It'd be so good, you guys. But anyways, documentary was cool. And then of course, like you're not sitting on a camera talking about all the shit you stole if you didn't get caught at some point and served your time and all that shit. So, if you're someone who's watching, it's like watching a documentary and the guy's like sitting there talking about how, he survived in the wilderness. Now it's the scene where he's getting attacked by a bear and you're like, oh my God, I hope he lives. You're like, I've been watching this guy talk the whole time. Of course he lives. You've been watching a guy talk about committing, larceny. He got caught. I won't tell you what happened or how it happened, but it's fascinating for me. Of course, as a whiskey guy, listening to some guy talking about, oh my God, how he was, I cannot tell you how happy I would be had I had just if I worked at the place and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to take a bottle of fucking 15-year-old Pappy home with me. Those bottles that are selling for like $1,500 online. I'm just going to take one. I'm going to drink it. Me, if I got my hands on the bottle, I'd be so happy. And I just put it on my shelf and it would add to the collection that I already have. Like, I'm glad that I've got 2 bottles of the E.H. Taylor small batch because that means that I can actually open one day, and I'll still have one sitting on the shelf. It's weird. It's like any kind of collection. You're like, ugh, it was hard to get. Some of these were hard to get and I want to hang on to them. I got my fucking Lafroigs. Oh, it's been a while since I've poured myself a dram. Poured myself a dram of the water of life. Scotland's gift to the world. Not bourbon, of course. Bourbon's American. So it's ignorant. It's ignorant, but it's a bit of a party. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a party. I'm not going to lie. That bourbon there is something special. Okay. Bourbon King. It's called Heist. The documentary series is called Heist. The Bourbon King was the episode that I'm referring to. Let's move on with our fucking lives, shall we? Why are you so aggressive, Josh? I don't know. I'm watching the time and I got to get to work. Well, I don't. I have to turn my laundry over and, spend an hour in the bathroom doing my regime. Let's talk about my, you know what? We'll go into that other shit later on. Let's talk about the Jazz Apples promo. So I've been doing this promo for Cadillac Fairview, and my mall is the Rito Center. I got a team under me. Everything's amazing. We will go into that in a little bit. But I had to stop one day. I couldn't do every single day of the promotion because one of the days I had to do something I previously committed to for Jazz Apples. Now, I'd never heard of Jazz Apples. I'm shaped like an apple, but eating fresh produce has never been the thing that I go after. I'm a big dude and I'm like, you know what? Where's the pizza? or where's the burgers and fries? You know what I mean? I'm never like, oh, I'm hungry for a snack. Is there any fresh apples? Perhaps there's some plums. Now, that's not to take away from those things. Those things are keeping pretty people alive, right? They're disciplined. They're eating fresh fruits and vegetables, and that's why they're crushing it, and I'm not. But jazz apples. Hey, you're going to do this thing. There's a fair in Cornwall, okay? And you're going to have a booth. We're going to have you on camera. There's this show, Pop Whiz, that films. They're filming it. It's going to be on Netflix, but they're looking to move it to YTV eventually, or hoping to. That's the end goal, I think. Anyways, I was catching little bits here and there. So as usual, I'm stupid. I don't know anything. But my goal was to hand out these apples. They're called jazz apples. All right. So they come from New Zealand. And for a while, you couldn't get them very often. Well, not very often, but you couldn't get them all the time because they were only grown in the Southern Hemisphere, right? Well, now they grow them in Washington as well. And it's like, I can't remember the other one. I'm going to sound like an idiot, but it's like a mix of like a Gala apple and another kind of apple. They're really good. They're crunchy. They're tangy. You know, they're really crunchy. Like, you know, you bite into it and it's fucking hard. Like at one point, actually, I was wearing my aligners, and the woman that I was working with, Suzanne, who was amazing. She's great energy, great person. I remember, she's like, do you want to try one? I'm like, yeah, I've never tried one. She's like, oh, go ahead and try one. So I had to take my aligners out. But when I take my aligners out, my teeth have been moved around, and so my teeth are like really sore. They feel loose in my head. So the idea of like taking it out, I'm like, oh, okay, my teeth are sore, and then I'm just gonna bite into an apple like that's, and a hard, dense, crunchy apple. Don't get me wrong, not the apple's fault. And she's like, we're going to film it and we're going to put it on social media. I was like, oh, like I'm going to be wincing and it's going to look like I don't like the apple, but I'm like, it's because my teeth are like, I'm like, you want to give me a minute? She's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, you might want to give me a minute. Still, I bit right. It was like, like a little sideways kind of bite so that I wasn't just shoving my two front teeth. And oh God, it was painful. It was painful. But the apple was good. So, once I started getting into the apple, of course, my mouth settled and everything, but it was just like, oh, to give you that first, like, you want my response, like my first impression filmed. I get it, but it's the pain in my teeth is going to make it look like I'm not enjoying this. But anyways, jazz apples, right? And jazz apples is the brand. In Canada, you can get them at Sobeys, Walmart, or Costco. And I would imagine Costco in the States and probably Walmart in the States. But they're good apples, man. You want a good, crunchy, sweet, tangy apple. Like, it's not crazy sweet, but it's not like, Red Delicious sweet, or whatever. But, they're good apples. They're good apples. How much do you rant and rave about an apple? I was happy to give them away. People seem to really like them. There was people coming back again like, man, that was a really good apple. Where do I get these? And in Cornwall, where we were, there's only a Walmart. There's no Costco. There's no Sobeys. So it was kind of like, hey, you can get these at Walmart. And, and I feel like a bad person anytime I tell someone to go directly to Walmart. You know what I mean? Hey, you should go to Walmart, but bring a nose plug, try to look at the floor. Cause if you look at the customers, you might not, you might lose your appetite for a little while. It's something that happens at Walmart. So, anyways, apples were good. Had a good time, doing the activation. My partner Suzanne was amazing. Yeah, that was it. That was Cornwall. I remember it was my first time outside in a while. And because it's getting towards the end of July, my allergies started acting up. So I actually had quite a bad sinus headache for the latter half of the day and my whole drive home. I actually came home and went to bed. I think I was home by 5:30 or 6 o'clock. And I was just and bed. Because I just, boom, headache medication, go to sleep. I'm over this. And that was it. That was my whole Friday was get up, drive to Cornwall, hand out apples, go home to bed. Very productive young man. That was Friday. All right. So I just want to, and it's one of the things too. I want to say that they're actually partnered. Jazz Apples are actually partnered with DreamWorks. There's a new movie, Spirit Untamed, coming out. That's the one with the horse. It's a sequel. The first one came out a while back, but they're doing another one called Spirit Untamed, and it'll be featuring jazz apples. All right. Horses like apples, and Spirit's favorite apple is the jazz apple. Yeah. So that's a fun little fact for you when you're watching the movie and you see the horse getting apples and you go, hey, them's them apples that Josh was talking about in the One Man Podcast. Oh my God. Full circle. I feel, well, I got the inside scoop. You can nudge your spouse or the kids and go, those are jazz apples. Jazz apples. Before the movie even starts. right? Because they'll probably call them jazz apples. They'd want their promo in the movie. They wouldn't just hand them an apple and expect you to know, based on the color of the skin of said apple, right, what its lineage is, right? Does it come from old money? Yeah. So before the movie even starts, you're like, I bet you Spirit's favorite apple is jazz apples, like those ones we buy at Walmart. Huh? What do you think? You're crazy. All right. Well, we'll see. Loser buys popcorn. I can't afford that. Let's make a reasonable bet. $100. Can't afford to buy popcorn in the movie theaters. Yeah. So just a cool thing, man. I like doing this. I like doing this marketing stuff, guys. It's nice to be back on the road doing fun stuff. The road and just outside is generally what I mean. But Cornwall was a road gig, an hour there, hour back, little time to myself, let's get into this Rito promo, boys and goyles. We are back at the Rito Center and we were making dreams come true. And by dreams come true, I mean, we're making people's day. So just to give you guys another little summary as to what I've been doing. It started last Monday. I banged out a podcast a few days in, told you a couple little stories, what was going on. I have tweaked and adjusted and played some fun things to try to, just get people excited. The whole point of the promo is Cadillac Fairview property owners. They own malls all over the country, are welcoming people back after the pandemic. It's been a long time. People have been cooped up, not able to go shopping. Malls have been closed. And hey, the stores in their properties are suffering as a result. We all suffer for stuff, but businesses are hurting. And this is a big welcome back. So people are coming back to the mall and we want to surprise them. We want to excite them. We want them to feel welcomed back. We want them to be glad that they came to the mall. So the promo that we're doing is I'm the lead. Just want you guys to know I'm the boss. I'm the fucking boss. Basically what it is my job as the lead is to surprise and delight people. I may as well build it up right from the ground. So I've got team members that work under me. All right. This is the last day, by the way. When hopefully you hear this Wednesday and you go, oh shit, this is the last day. I'd better get my ass to Rito or any of the cities in Canada that have a Cadillac Fairview, which is CF. I remember Rito Center for the longest time was just the Rito Center. And all of a sudden they changed to CF Rito Center. Hey, come on to the CF Rito Center. CF Rito. What the fuck is CF? Cadillac Fairview is what CF is. So Eaton Center is one that I'm aware of. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of any other Cadillac Fairview malls. I don't know the names of them, but there's at least a good 10 of them on our list. So if you live in a city and you happen to have had the good sense to listen to the One Man Podcast and be told this, know that this is happening all over the country. So this is your last chance. Final scoop. You go into the mall, you will see people wearing blue shirts that say white CF on the back, CF on the front. Okay. You approach one of them. What they're doing is they're giving out $10 gift cards that can be used anywhere in the mall. So it's a nice little welcome back. Glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming out to the Cadillac Fairview property today. We appreciate you guys being here. Here's a $10 card to feel free to use for your purchases today. All right. That's what my team is doing. All right. I have the job, and there is one of these people in every mall, the job of going around to stores and paying for people's purchases. Right. So someone's at the cash, they got their arm full of clothes or their hands full of cosmetics or shoes or whatever it is. And right before they pay, I step in and go, hey, don't worry about that. We're going to take care of that for you today on behalf of Cadillac Fairview. We want to welcome you back to the Rito Center. And we'd just like to pay for your purchase. And people are like, what? Why? I'm like, it's just that's usually what I get. What, why? What's the catch? No catch. You just got lucky. We're glad you're here. You came back. It's amazing. And we've been doing that. And the thing is, I get a list of stores every single day, and I do have a budget. There's only so much budget. We're actually paying for the purchases with the Cadillac Fairview gift cards, not the $10 ones, of course, but I do have a budget in a day. So I get 10 stores and I get X. I'm not going to tell you exactly how much I get, but I get X amount of dollars, that I'm to use over the course of the day. And every day we get 10 new stores. We go in. Some of the stores are way more high end than others. Or I shouldn't say high end. I should say, bigger ticket values. Like, for example, we usually get a couple of stores in the food court just to go and buy people's lunch. You know what I mean? Just get them excited, You're going to spend more at, a store off the top of my head. You're going to spend more at a Blue Notes than you're going to spend at A&W. You know what I mean? You're going to spend more at La Vie en Rose than you're going to spend at Thai Express. So it's just, the idea is, what we try to do is I start my day off at the big ticket stores. I go in, I try to communicate with, I successfully communicate with the staff to let them know why me and my team are kind of wandering around the store staring at people. We're trying to get an idea of what, we're trying to pick someone to be our winner. The only thing is we kind of have to be mindful of how much they're spending. In a lot of stores, I don't know what the average ticket price is. There's expensive shoe stores and there's like budget shoe stores. Luckily, my team with me is younger and they're more experienced with that kind of shit. Like, I buy my shoes at Costco. I'm nothing special. But, we're following people around. I told you guys last week about trying to buy panties for people at a lingerie store. That was weird. I haven't had anything that weird since. But we're in places that, sell underwear and stuff like that. So one of the adjustments that I made is I started going to, the supervisor or manager in charge and just say, hey, here's what we're doing. This is why we're wandering around staring at people, but we're going to be surprising someone for the purchase. And I'll kind of ask them, like, what's your average, ticket receipt kind of price that people pay? They'll give me an idea. And it's like, okay, well, listen, if you get somebody in like, X budget, can you just do me a favor, have your staff put up their hand and we'll come over and pay for it. So rather than us trying to guess, like there's times too where someone's at the cash and I'm kind of like 2 feet behind them trying to listen in to hear what the price is so that if it's within our budget, I can just jump in and pay for it. Right. There's places where I could have blown the budget in the first 2 hours. You know what I mean? Just because I was just, you're buying $500 for the stuff. Sure. Bang. Next person, 250, bang. A couple more. We're out, So it's kind of like, okay, I'm listening. If there's still somebody I can buy stuff for. I've had some really good experiences this week. Some things I'm really, really happy about. Couldn't wait to make their day. And I'll tell you about them. Why not? I'll tell you about them. But, so that's what I do is listen, if you get one of those purchases, put your hand up, we'll pay for it. And a lot of them think too, I'm like some stores have been like, listen, if it's around the $80 mark, like, I've had to adjust too. Like, it's not like I'm hard on 80. I've even had to say to them, like, hey, if it's under 80, if it's like any 80 or under, I don't care if it's $25, fine. We're still paying for their purchase. We're still surprising them. We're still delighting them. Every customer is like, oh shit, if I had known beforehand, I would have bought more. Well, of course, who wouldn't have? But we can't tell you that because then it doesn't turn into you getting a little extra. It turns into a shopping spree. Oh, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's a surprise you get the cash. So, that system has not been foolproof, asking the cashier to, put your hand up with this. We also found that like, I even found I had to I still have to listen, but I have a little bit more help because there's times where, I tell them, they go, sure, no problem. And, and then 5 minutes later they'd get a customer, the customer's purchase is $34 and they don't put their hand up. And I go, hey, I'll take care of that for you today, blah, blah, blah. It's like, they think, oh, well, we have 80. Like, we'll wait till someone gets $80 for the stuff. It's like, no, I said anything under 80. We can't go over 80, but if they get $35, like I even started putting that in, like, guys, if it's $35, it's fine. It's just, as long as we're able to pay for someone's purchase, that's what we want to do. But I don't know what it is, right? If I see a couple dresses, they could be $50 each. They could be fucking $14.99. I don't know what they cost. So that has worked. It's helped is what I can say. It hasn't really worked. It's helped because, like, again, it's almost like the stores think that they're going to get an extra sale out of it. Like, this person's still paying. It's just, we're giving them a better experience. They're gonna be happy they came to your store. I tried it early and again, this is one of those things we just kept working on to change because I went to one store and I won't name them because I was really like, the manager was unbelievable. She was incredibly kind. She was incredibly welcoming. She was super professional. She's even the one. This was the first store that we actually tried this out, and we were telling her why we're here, and we were asking, like, what's the average ticket price? Because, we've got a kind of a budget of X dollars, and she was like, yeah, great. She gets on her little walkie, those little lanyard mics. She's like, hey guys, do you see the two gentlemen with me in blue shirts right now? They're here to pay for a customer's purchase. So if any of you get a purchase that's around the $100 mark, just do me a favor, put up your hand, and they're going to come surprise the customer or whatever, And, they all, like, we could see them looking at us. They're all nodding. They're across the store, but they're all looking at us. They're all nodding. And it's like, great. We got like 5 people on board. Shouldn't be long before we get one of those purchases, anything. So she comes back, she brings me like some free buttons and stuff like that I can give to the kiddos. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is great. She was unbelievable. She communicated what we asked immaculately. She communicated it immaculately. Was it comprehended immaculately? Absolutely not. Because, not a minute later, where she's giving us some stuff. She's chatting again. Amazing customer service from the manager. Maybe she was just the supervisor. I'm pretty sure she was a manager. Anyways, hand fires up. Great. That's great. We got a hand up in the air. Boom. We got our $100 purchase go over. I go, hey, just on behalf of Cadillac Fairview, we'd love to welcome you back to the Burrito Center and say thank you for that. We'd like to pay for your purchase today. And the woman's like, oh my God, that's great. Perfect. And then the staff member's like, all right, perfect. So that's going to be $194, da, 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 da. And I'm like, that's $200. That's not $100. That's $200. What universe do you live in? I'm not saying this, of course, but it was just frustrating. Like, we're trying to budget for the day. We're trying to make sure that every store gets a good customer, a decent amount of the revenue is coming to them regardless, no matter who is paying for it. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, we're trying to make sure that we can get other stores. We're trying to make sure we can actually make more people happy is what it is. If I go to a store and I say I have an $80 budget for you, if you get two customers that have $40 orders, you're still getting that money, but now we made two people's day as opposed to one person's. You know what I mean? Like, the idea is not to buy the biggest thing we can. The idea is that to be able to go to these stores and have an experience with every customer. It stuck with me. I was really pissed off. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't losing my shit, but I was just like, and again, after the manager was great. She set it up. She was the one who gave us the idea to, like, in advance and put your hand up. Like, I was like, yeah, that's great. That's actually, now we've loaded the staff member knows. And we've had to be careful with that too, because when the staff member knows that we're going to pay for purchase, we see them making suggestions at the till to add more things on, right? They'll put their hand up and they're like, hey, you should get this, you should get that, and, it's tough because, again, we can't turn it into a shopping spree. We have other people whose day we want to make. So it has been an interesting process to finagle that and figure out, just juggle things around until we found a way to make it work. And it's at that point where, very happy with how things are working. I've had some great experiences this week. We had a woman who, we were in, where the fuck were we? Zara, I think is what it's called. And we're standing in Zara. There's a lot of stores that I have learned what they are this week because I never would have gone into them, never had a reason, but they were on my list in the morning. Oh, I'm getting pen all over that's what I get for fidgeting with a pen. I've got fucking blue ink all over my hands now. I went into Zara and we're, same thing, tell the cashier, perfect. Yeah, that sounds great. And then this woman came to the cash. She had a nice big hat in her hand and, like a sun hat or something like that. And she went up to the cash and I'm like, okay, I think that I can handle that hat. I'm like, I'm going to do that hat. And so I'm standing behind, I'm waiting for her, to pay and everything. She walks up to the cash. She goes, I'm just wondering, I'm not going to imitate her accent because that's what people will focus on instead of the magical, lovely story that I'm about to tell you. She's like, I was just wondering, can you hold this hat for me until tomorrow? I get paid tomorrow. I'd like to come back for it. And I just hear that. I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. And I just go, that won't be necessary, ma'am, because we're going to buy that hat for you today. We're going to take care of it. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, on behalf of, Cadillac Fairview, welcome back to the Burrito Center. We'd like to pay for your purchase. Oh my God, that's amazing. She was so excited. This hat was one that her friend had a hat that just looked just like it. And she hasn't seen her friend in years. They used to, be together in, South America and this and that. So it was a lovely story of a woman who was just so excited, and it was great. Made her day. It wasn't super expensive. I think it was like 40 or $50 for this hat. Amazing experience. Loved it. She's just, it's a nice gift. It reminds her of a friend she hasn't seen. She doesn't have to put it on, hang on to it. Please don't sell it. Nothing to worry about at all. Cause that hat is yours right now. No charge. Welcome back. Love those things. There was another woman who was, looking at shoes at a place called, it was a French L'Intervalle or something like that. I apologize, to that store. I can't remember what their name is. It was French and there was so many L' French name stores that I was in this week. I'm not even fucking with you. So many of them. But there was a nice young lady who was trying on shoes and, we were waiting. We figured, okay, we're looking at the wall of shoes. They're all somewhere around $100 and we were expecting more expensive. We actually spoke to the manager and we asked them, what's like the average sale price or whatever? Like we told them we're here to pay for purchase. What's your average receipt look like in terms of spend? Oh, our average receipts are like $400. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah. But if you guys want to come back like, between 4 and 6, that's when people really spend money and then you can get an even bigger one. We're like, well, we're not trying to buy the biggest receipt possible. We're just trying to make sure we can pay for purchase. So we'll keep an eye out and see, find someone who's maybe just getting, one of the pairs of shoes or something like that. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. Like they seemed upset. Like it was almost like, so here's the thing too. And this was the situation that made us aware of this is, I think that again, I don't think the staff understands that people are going to be paying for this anyways. Like we're not giving you an extra sale. They would have bought it anyways. And I think that for some reason, the staff members, maybe some of them were commission or something like that. Like they thought that, oh, we'll like, we're not front loading anybody, but some of the places, like when we would come back, we would notice they would say like, they're going to pay for you. So go ahead and get like, that's not what we're about. We're not about, hey, buy as much as you want. It's not a shopping spree. That's different, right? It's a surprise and delight, pay for purchase, whatever you were going to buy. When you go to pull out your card, nope, we got this for you. And that's it. That's when you find out that your purchase is paid for, the second before you tap. And I'll be honest, there's been some instances where I literally had to like jump in and stick my card in between them and the thing because they're just it's so fast to pay now that it's like, okay, and this click, boom. Cause not every store, the staff member behind the counter knew exactly what was happening. So some of them, if they had one customer, we'd walk into the store and there'd be one customer in this little boutique and they're about to pay. So it's kind of like, no, and just like a spatula, get it in between their card and pull it up. A few times I missed. Not missed the scoop, but I just couldn't get there so fast to tap. Between the time and I'd be like, do not tap that card. And they'd just tap it and they go, what? I go, no worries. Here you go. Here's a $10 gift card. Enjoy your day. Thanks for coming back to the Burrito Center. I'm like, oh my God, I was just going to try to get that 10. I'm not going to be like, hey, I was going to pay for your purchase. Right. Because then they're just disappointed. Well, you just forked it out. So it's like, nope, here's a $10 gift card. Thank you so much. I was just hoping you'd be able to use that on your purchase, but no worries. You can use it somewhere else, buy yourself lunch. So the person's still happy. They don't know what they just missed. And of course, how could they? It's not fair to be like, oh, shouldn't have tapped that card. If a stranger yells at you when you've got your payment method in your hand, don't tap that. I don't know. I feel bad because like some of them was like, oh, it would have been great. But yeah, we still got them a $10 gift card. They're still happy. They still won something. They just don't realize that, they would have paid for nothing. But going back to that store with the shoes, this one woman she was getting a $40 pair of shoes. I thought it was more expensive than that. They were like $79.99, half price. We were watching people, like when I was standing at the cash, I was hearing these sales of like $49, $59, $100. I'm sitting there going, so far the average is about $70 that I'm hearing. This is not a $400 average store. But like I said, I think somewhere maybe in their heads, they're thinking that like, if they tell, the person, hey, get this, get that, get this, come back at this time, you'll get this. Like we're going to make a bigger sale for them and they're going to get a bigger commission. I don't understand. But the woman there, she was like, she was talking with the I guess the salesperson there, and she was considering the shoes and they're like, it is final sale or whatever it is, unfortunately. And she's like, oh, and then she starts talking with the woman with her and she's like, I don't know, like I like them, but if they're no good, like I don't want to be stuck with them if they're final sale. And I just step in and I go, ladies, honestly, normally I would wait till you get the cash to tell you this, but if that final sale is the thing that's making you hesitate, we're here to pay for your purchase today. So if you want those shoes, they are absolutely free for you. Don't worry about them being final sale. Because it's not costing you a thing anyways. Like, really? Why? And like, of course, as always, I go, yeah, and just tell them the spiel. They're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Thank you so much. So the other woman with her was a friend of hers who was getting married. So she was buying a nice pair of shoes to wear, I think as a bridesmaid or just to go to her wedding. So it was a nice story. And they were like, oh my God. And the other woman got a $10 gift card. So one of them gets free shit. Like, these are nice little stories that we're a part of and having fun doing it. Really having fun doing it. I'm gonna kind of move along with this, just saying I've had a really, really great time. I want to send lots of love, a shout out to David's Tea. David's Tea we visited a few times and of course paid for some customers' purchases, but the staff there are amazing. Every time we go in, they're like, would you guys like a tea? They've been hooking us up with cold drinks. And I got to tell you, running around Rito, running my mouth constantly, I get a little fucking patched over the course of the day, and they keep the whistle wet. So, lots of love and appreciation to David's Tea for, hooking us up with drinks, taking good care of us. Lots and lots of love to David's Tea. And right next door, Mr. Pretzel. carbohydrates at their best. I have been absolutely loving Mr. Pretzel, and these ladies have been good to us. You know, I mean, I could say that maybe there's a chance we've been giving them the odd gift card here and there just to take care of them, but they have been taking care of us. So at the end of the day, they kind of have leftovers, and they're you know, they give them away. So we've kind of had almost this daily regime of, you know, at the end of the day, we go by, we say hello, and you know, we head off to our vehicles with a pretzel in hand. You know, I hope that doesn't get anybody in trouble. It seems to be the way of things. I remember back when I was working the PlayStation activation, we were right outside of David's Tea and Mr. Pretzel. They're side by side. And at the end of the day, they'd just walk over and give us pretzels. David's Tea would bring us drinks. They were amazing. Absolutely amazing. And so we, like I said, we get a little, you know, couple gift cards their way. Here and there, you know, just as a thank you for being so kind to us. We definitely appreciate their kindness, both David's Tea and Mr. Pretzel. I just want to take a minute and say that, like, you know, we get a little something in our tummy, little drink to keep us hydrated. And it's all courtesy of those two places. So, first off, the fucking tea is amazing at David's, and the pretzels are unbelievable. You think like a pretzel. It is not a hard, crunchy pretzel. In case you're one of those people who's never had like a real pretzel, a big, large, freshly baked pretzel, it's like soft, chewy, you know, and they do them up like beaver tails where you can get all sorts of stuff. You get cinnamon sugar on them. You can get just a plain pretzel with salt. They've got savory. They've got sweet. They put Nutella on them. They put strawberry crap on them. They'll put fucking Parmesan and spice. Like, it's delicious. Go try it. Stop being an asshole. Go try Mr. Pretzel and David's Tea. Holy fuck, the stuff that they make is incredible. They're giving us like passion fruit, whatever they make during the day. They're nice cold tea. It's like an unbelievable iced tea. And then they put like agave and lemonade in it for us. Oh, it's good. I want one right now. I want one right fucking now. But yeah, love to them. I also, it was funny. I have started to go to Farm Boy. There's a Farm Boy in the Rito Center, which for my American listeners is basically like a Whole Foods. It's growing in Canada, but it did start right here in my hometown of Ottawa. I was going to say home city, but the S hung. I was like my hometown of Ottawa. They have great, you know, just great grocery store, or whatever, but they have, you know, they make stuff now, and they make like these hamburgers they call smash burgers. Delicious. They make like little wood fire pizzas that are quite nice and delicious. No, good for the price. Absolutely. They do these little salads, $6.99 salads. I've had a salad every day for the last 3 days at lunchtime. Sometimes I'm too full. I'll get either get a burger and a salad or a pizza and a salad. And usually I'm too full after one. So, I mean, the salad can stay cold, right? I'll eat my pizza and then I'll bring my salad home. I've been crushing the salads either in the morning or at work. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. They've got all sorts of stuff there. I will be eating there at lunch again today. I'm very, very happy with what I've been getting from Farm Boy. And that's a thing I didn't know. I've shopped at Farm Boy before, but they're a little fresh, you know, hey, we'll make you some stuff bar. Amazing. It was funny too, because I was saying one day they're looking at me after like us eating Chinese food for like 3 days at those like, you know, food court Chinese places. They're looking at me and I'm like, I'm eating this salad, right? Like, I think it was like a chopped salad or whatever. I was eating that and they're looking at me funny, you know. I've got a hamburger and a salad, I think I got a double cheeseburger with bacon or whatever. And the salad, I'm eating the salad and I'm like, this is like an abusive relationship to my body because like, you know, I'm always hitting it with bad things. I'm always abusing it. And then today I'm going to put like a salad in it and it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Look, I do love you. I got you flowers. Like that's me to my body. Right. And then 2 minutes later, I'm going to throw this fucking burger down my gullet and start beating it again. You know, he's changed. He loves me. He cares. I think we're on the right. And then it back to, you know, my sports team loses and I start beating my body again. I don't know. I thought that was the metaphor in my head was that, you know what I mean? Like I'm in an abusive relationship with my body. I abuse it. I apologize to it. Right. I've been drinking collagen water this week. So fucking funny. I'm like collagen water. Yeah, this is good. Right? It's good for your skin to drink collagen. Cucumber water with collagen, grapefruit water. I had water, lemon, I was going to say. Watermelon. The other sisters. Oh, it's my brain remembering a joke. I watched this variety show when they had these lemon sisters, and then they had some impersonator. They were called the Lemon Sisters. And then some impersonator came on. afterwards and was doing a George Burns impression. He goes, "Hey, how about those Mellon sisters, huh?" And that's what's always stuck in my head every time I think of melon and lemon. They all work. Anyways, the collagen water I've been enjoying, right? Pretending like I'm taking better care of myself. Would I spend $5 for a collagen water? Not a chance. Not a chance. But this week I'm treating myself. Cause everything's very reasonable at the Farm Boy, boutique there. The Farm Boy eatery, restaurant. It's not a restaurant either. Just the Farm Boy fucking fresh bake section. Loving it. And I gotta say a big hats off, round of applause, what have you, love and respect to my team. I'm working with a good friend of mine, Jad, who as soon as I saw this gig, I immediately reached out to him and said, dude, get on this. You got to do it. He did it. He got all days. Amazing. So Jad and I are working together, having a good time, as always. But then I've got, Lemiz and Nick as well. And I got to tell you, working with these guys is great. Normally I would have us in groups of 2. We've had the odd days where we have an odd person. So I put them in my group with me, just so I have two other blue shirts with me. But just the way things have been going and the energy that we're getting, having Jad, Lemiz and Nick with me has been phenomenal. Lemiz has been, like my right-hand person. She is all over. So when we get a winner, right, for the surprise and delight, we, take a picture of them in front of the store. And it's just to track our winners. However, we also have, the opportunity for, the Cadillac Fairview would like to maybe do a sizzle reel when this is all over of all the winners and things like that. And in order to use, their photographs, we need releases signed. And, it's been great because I'm able to pay for the purchases and tell the people. And what Lemiz has done is she has spearheaded the release form thing. So rather than me like, hey, let's do this, I'm going to do that, we're going to do this. So while I'm paying for the purchase with the cashier, Lemiz takes them aside, gets them to fill out the release form real quick if they're willing to have their photo thing. And then we walk them out to the front, get a picture with their bag in front of the stores. It's been amazing. And Nick and Jad, what they do is when this winner is there, they kind of, hey, pop out, and they pop out and kind of applause. Hey, congratulations. They make like a big scene of it. It's tons of great energy. And then of course there's a few people around the winner who are like, oh shit, I wish that was me. Well, they take care of handing out a couple of $10 gift cards in the vicinity. So everyone in that zone has a little positive experience. So you're not getting paid for, but you're getting $10 off. You know what I mean? Or the next place you go, you'll get $10 off. So it's a great, I like that little 4-person amoeba that we have. And I like the visibility when we're walking through the mall with the group of us, right? Like everyone's got their role. We work very well in that regard. I also have other teams on the floor just giving out the cards, but in terms of what we're doing, as together as a group, these pay for purchases, I'm loving it. The property seems to be very, very happy with what we're doing. Like, again, I'm fucking making people's day. That's all I'm doing is I walk around, I pay for some shit. I go and I have a delicious Farm Boy, like fresh lunch, right? Drink my collagen water. And then I go back. So the first half of the day, we try to hit all the stores on the list to make sure that every store gets at least one purchase. And then the second half of the day is like, go back to these places. And if I still have a budget left, which I always do, I just don't know how much I'm going to have until I've hit all the stores once. And then we kind of go back through everything and funnel it back. We go to some other stores that we've hit. Yesterday we had, Colonel's and Baskin Robbins, and Colonel's, they have this promo where you buy one bag of popcorn, you get the second one half price. And so there was someone there and they're like, would you like the second bag for half price? They're like, no, I'm okay. And I go, I really think that you should get it. And they're like, what? I'm like, I know I'm a stranger and I'm, it's your money, but I think that you should trust me. This will be one of those times in your life where trusting a stranger will pay off. I think you should get the second bag at half price. And they're like, okay. I go, just trust me. They're like, I don't really need, just trust me. Okay. I go, look in my eyes. Trust me. Like, I can't tell them, like, I'm going to pay for it, but just, and then they get to pay for their thing. They're like, oh, I go, yeah, see, if you hadn't got it, I would have only paid for one, but so it's free. It's all free. You're just getting that second. Oh, that was really fun. I like that. I'm like, yeah. We did that a few times. Like, there's times where just, like I said too, like we can see the story. And it was like a nice elderly couple thing about their popcorn, right? We had some other people just, humming and hawing, like, and should I get, do you want a waffle cone or regular cone? They're like, how much is the waffle cone? And I'm like, just get it. Trust me. What? Just trust me. You should, You should really get the waffle cone. In fact, I can promise you, if you don't get the waffle cone, you will absolutely regret it. I promise you that. Really? Just do it. I told them, I said, it's the same price. And then the woman behind the counter loves me. So she's like, Wing sent me to, it's the exact same price. Get the waffle cone. Really? Yeah. And then I pay for it. See, it's free. It's all free no matter what. It's the same price. So, and they love it too, because I'm obviously encouraging a little bit more revenue into their store and stuff like that. So I like that. When I'm the one paying, I can suggest a little more. I don't like it when the staff goes out of their way to do it. But anyways, guys, we're having a blast. We're popping to Starbucks. We're buying people's coffee, wander over to Lower Seacourt, buy them an ice cream. You know what I mean? Pop into the food court, buy someone's lunch. It's a fucking blast. I make people's day. My team is like, you're like the Godfather of Rito. All the staff know you. Like you're walking by, people in the stores are waving to you and stuff like that. I'm like, they're waving at all of us. You know, they recognize the blue shirts, guys. They know what we're doing. You know, this is great. We're having the time of our lives. The time of our lives. Bobbity boop bop beep ba squee ba da ba dee ba doo bop 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 bop. That's what I'm doing at Reno, guys. It's the last day. It is 9:46. I'm going to be going to Reno again today for the last time. I will have this podcast up. I hope I have it up. I got to switch my laundry over, make sure that it's dry by the time it's time to go. But I'm having an absolute blast. I'm having an absolute fucking blast. All right. I told you guys about the soap company that I subscribe to. It is just what it is. I know that I watched some reviews online. That's what I do now as I'm old. And before I buy anything, right? So I am definitely a consumer and advertisement works on me. But I see something, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I do want that. And then I go, pump the brakes. I jump on, that was a terrible brake fucking sound, but you know, I fucking pump the brakes. I go on YouTube right away and I Google the name of the product and review. And I watch like two or three reviews to see what the consensus is on said product. And I go, I want to see what it's like. Do I really want this or is it all bullshit? And sometimes I'll see a product I like and I go, I think I want this. I think I want everything I see because I am such a consumer. But I'll go online, I'll watch a few reviews. I'll try to get like the honest, you know, what are they telling? What are the pros and cons? I love reviews that give pros and cons because it shows that they're really looking at it critically. You know what I mean? And trying to give you a full understanding as opposed to like, oh, this product's great. It's great for this. It's great for that. It's great. I'm like, you almost sound like the fucking commercial that got me, you know, interested in the first place. Right? It's like that old, I don't know about you guys, but I have this thing where if I go to a restaurant and I ask a server, hey, what's good here? And they're like, oh, everything's good here. That's a lie. I know that's a lie. There's no place is perfect. Like, sure, everything's good, but you say, well, when I go, what's good here? I want you to pick, you know, a few of them that you suggest. You don't just go, everything's good. Everything's great. There's nothing bad anywhere, ever. I'm just like, that's not true, right? You don't even have a favorite. Everything's just so amazing that you just love it all. You crazy bitch. So that's kind of my thing with a review that's like, oh, there's no fucking problems whatsoever. I'm like, well, that's just not true. So I've been, I picked up, I was looking at like beard oils, right? I was like, I want to know which ones are good, which ones are bad. So I just did like a top 5, you know, beard oil video and I got some different names of some different companies and a few of them came up a few times. So I was like, you know what? I'll check it out. I watched one guy who's a scientist and he was like literally melting beard bombs and then putting them under the microscope to like look at their molecular structure and stuff. It's like, oh, this one here, you can see clumps of like the beeswax. So it doesn't melt as nicely as the other one. He's like, let's see which one melts faster and has like a lower boiling point. I was like, holy fuck. I go, at least this is interesting. This guy's like using a scientific approach to reviewing what's better. He's doing like side-by-side comparisons. I'm like, okay, I'm on board with that. Let's scientifically scrutinize this shit. Loved it. So, I went on Amazon and I purchased, I'll give them a little plug. Why not? I barely use their product so far, but Viking Revolution is the name of the product. And Viking Revolution, I ordered from them. I wrote it down here. I ordered beard oil. Okay. So they had like a little 3-pack of beard oil. I'm like, I'll order that. Right. I'll use their oils, see which ones I like because they had different scents. It didn't come with the unscented one. It came with like 3 other ones, and it's out of reach right now, and I'm running out of time. So, I know that one was sandalwood, and I think one is like clear sage or something like that. They also had a 4-pack of beard balms, which is like it's almost like for styling, which helps me because I got a bit of a scraggly beard. Like I do my best to keep it in check, but, I'm going to need to continue to work on my beard, keep using balms. I'm going to get some beard butter too, right? Which hydrates stuff. So use the oils to keep it hydrated. I also bought, so I got like, the 4-pack of balms, which had all 3 of the same scents as the oils. So obviously I'll use them in tandem with each other. This one with that, this one with that. But, they had a 4th beard balm that was just called Bay Rum, and it smells nice and sweet, but it's all by itself. So I'm actually using that right now with the Pro Razzo. So I'll put the oil in and I'll comb, with my hands, and I'll run it through my beard and run it against my skin. And then I'll comb the oil through. And then when I'm done, I'll take the beard balm, a little bit on my hands, rub it together there. If you can hear that. Oh yeah. Get it going, get it melted in my hands, and then just rub it in the beard. Oh baby. I also bought, beard wash and beard conditioner. So it was in one of the videos prior to my purchasing this, I was like, the guy's like, yeah, you need, a lot of people will put shampoo, which I totally was doing, put shampoo in their beard because they think, oh, it's to clean hair, whatever. But your beard is much drier than your hair, and shampoo is designed to like clean oils and grease and shit out of your hair. But your beard doesn't have oils and stuff to spare. So what it does is when you use shampoo is it just dries it out further. And I would hope that there's at least one other person listening to this going, oh, fuck, I never really thought of it. But of course that makes perfect sense. So the whole idea is, I'm just looking at my bourbon going, I could put a little bourbon in the oil. Fucking nice bourbon smell in my beard all day. You're like, I want to suck on my fucking face. I ordered a beard wash, which is effectively a beard shampoo, and a beard conditioner. So I got that from Viking Revolution as well. And I've been using it for a couple of days, and it actually feels very, very nice in the beard. My beard is getting softer. Is it as soft as I'd like it to be? No, but I'm only a few days into this regime. So I got that, and then I got a beard like care kit. So I've got like a nice boar hair brush that I can use to comb it specifically for beards, of course. And then I got like this nice wooden comb that I can sort of run through my beard or whatever. It's just nice, guys. I got a little pair of scissors to trim up little spots when necessary. And I've also scheduled myself an appointment at the House of Baron on Preston Street for Friday evening. So I will let you guys know how that goes. I'm going to get my beard professionally styled by some beard bastards. That's what I even said to them on the phone. I'm looking for some beard bastards. I got my people that do my hair. I'm happy with how they do my hair, but not everybody is good at doing the beard. I think they're just kind of like, here's a trim. I'm like, I want some shaping. I want some style. I've got the fucking products to take good care of it. I want to style it nice, and I want to, we go and do this. So I'm looking forward to that. And I get my second poke on Sunday. So I get my second vaccination on Sunday. Looking forward to spending the rest of Sunday sick. And I think I'm doing a spot at Absolute Comedy on Sunday night. So I'm going to try to remember how to be funny if I still know how to do that. But that's it for the Viking Revolution stuff, guys. So far, I like it. The balm, what I've learned is it helps style the beard. It still offers some hydration and stuff, but its main goal is to like catch the flyaway hairs and stuff like that. So you put the balm in, and it just sort of, helps you hold things where they're supposed to go and keep your face looking nice and fuckable, All right. And the soap, I'm happy with. But when I watched reviews on the soap, a lot of people were saying that like, hey, it's nice soap, but at American, it's $7 a bar, and Canadian, it's $9 a bar. If you're just buying it, if you don't have a subscription, I think I get it for like $7.50 Canadian a bar with my subscription. I love just saying that word because it's stupid. But I watched some videos and the reviews, and some of them were saying like, yeah, the unfortunate thing is that they only last like, a week and a half. So that's, something like 7. They're saying like on average like 7, 8 washes, and then the bar's gone. So it's like if you're paying $1 a shower or whatever. But what I have done is, and I'm not someone who ever uses washcloths, but I have started to use the washcloth. So what I'll do is I'll go into the shower and I'll do the hair, I'll do the beard, all that stuff. And then I will run the cloth under the water. I will turn the water off. Like, well, I will pour it into the tub, and I will lather my bar of soap against the washcloth, right? And I'll get it all going. I'll fucking fill the cloth with soap, and then I'll put my soap on a soap saver. Very important to have a soap saver, right? Because otherwise it just sits in the water and it sucks up the water in the bar soap, and it turns into this gross gel on the one side that you just scrape off, and there goes a bunch of soap you paid for. So I got a soap saver. I rub the shit out of that, put it all over the washcloth, put my soap back on the soap saver, and I'll use the washcloth everywhere, and I'll get myself all nice and lathered. Oh yeah, get yourselves excited thinking about that. I'll lather up everywhere, and then I'm like doing it like you guys don't know what lathering and washing is like. Yeah, but I've had this bar now. It's my first bar. I've had them for a while, but I'm on my first bar. It's funny too, because I've got these products now. So I've got like these beard oils and stuff too, but I still like the Prorazzo that I've had for 2 years. I'm using that before I move on to the Viking Revolution stuff. I've also picked up some stuff in my travels, which will be part of the top 5 this week. Going through them all, just like seeing stores that I've never been into. But because I'm there to pay for someone's purchase, I'm learning, I'm waiting. While I'm waiting, I'm looking around, I'm asking questions, so it's been fun fucking around with this, but I'm still on my first bar. So my products, I have to use up old ones. So before I've had my soap for a while. However, I had old bars of like, Dove and Irish Springs and Old Spice, so now it's kind of like, okay, I'm on my first bar, and I'm still on my first bar. One of the guys, that's just because these are square bars. One of the guys in the YouTube video had suggested cutting the bar in half too, so that when you're rubbing it, it's not like the full surface. You can get just as much lather out of like the half piece. So it just helps it last longer, especially if you're someone who's going to go in the shower and just use it as a bar on their skin. Having the water constantly rinsing it off and everything is going to make it so that, you use a lot more of it. So, I've got a bunch already, and I'm just like, okay, it's going to be a while before I go through all of these. Fucking A. Yeah. So, and again, I'm still not going to name their company because they're not paying me, and they're making tons of money. All right, guys, let's go to the top 5, and then I'll send us all home. We're at the hour-long mark anyway, so I gave you the hour. I'm happy with that. I got to change my shit over. So, top 5, I have been purchasing things in stores that I never thought I would have purchased. First off, be interested in stuff, and then secondly, to be interested in these stores and everything like that. I'm having a blast. I'm now having this thought in my head. I'm like, oh, there's something I'm supposed to do. I'm like, oh, I can do that, while I'm here. Oh, the uploading of the podcast. Right. So here's the top 5 this week, guys. Top 5 stores I never visited, but now like in Rito Center. All right. Specifically the Rito Center, because I'm sure there's other stores that exist elsewhere. And, I don't want my top 5s to be, hey, wait a second. Hey, is the top 5 stores you never thought you'd like? Well, haven't been in all of them, but in terms of the Rito Center, these are top 5 stores I never visited, but now I like, and they're in the Rito Center. So number 5, H&M. I've heard of H&M. Never been in it. I just assumed, I don't know why I thought it was a more expensive clothing store. But my buddy Jed was like, no, H&M has got like cheap shit too. It's kind of like an Old Navy, but a little bit nicer or something like that. I was like, oh, okay. So not a whole lot to say on it. It's just a store that I've seen, but I've never visited. And I was kind of like, oh, I don't mind Old Navy. I kind of go there for basic sweaters, basic t-shirts and things like that. I like that H&M has sort of got some options for that as well. Although I don't know if they have my sizes. But it was kind of a cool store to visit when we did pay for purchase. Looking around, I was like, okay, this place is not bad. I thought it was just really expensive. It's not like I looked through the window, loved their stuff, and was like, someday. I just was kind of like, designer store, right? Same way I wouldn't just wander into, Blue Notes, or I'm probably naming a bunch of low ticket item price stores. But there's just sometimes you see like a designer, name, and you think, oh, that's an expensive store. I don't know why I thought that about H&M, but I was like, oh, I think that's an option. H&M. Number 4 is one of those French ones with the L apostrophe. The L'Occitane en Provence store is a, health and beauty boutique. The hell was that? Health and beauty boutique. The staff is very, very nice there, as they are all speaking the French, and when they speak English, they have a very heavy accent. But it sounds very nice. If you are going to shop in a boutique, why would you not shop in a boutique where they talk like this to you? As opposed to walking in, they're like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, this fragrance here is really nice. You're like, fuck, do you see the prices on these things? Prices are not cheap, but they gave us like this fucking hand scrub yesterday with sea salt in it. And it was like, oh, we're washing our hands, and they're pumping like lotion on us afterwards. And they come here and try this, rub this. And I'm like, oh, this is all amazing. Everything's amazing. It's all amazing. Love it. Everything feels great. Guys, I have been pampered as fuck this last week. You know what I mean? Like going in all these stores and they're like, here, put this on your skin. Try this. And I was like, ha, ha, ha. I get it. I've been very effeminate this week in terms of like just my taking care of myself. But you know what? I think I get it, ladies. I think I get why guys are like, how the fuck do you spend all this money on this? But it feels good. It feels good. I will carry that through. So, Lucky 10 en Provence, their stuff is really nice, but I picked up, cause they didn't have a lot of stuff that was geared directly to men, but in the vein of everything that's been going on, I saw that they had a beard oil there and I was like, yeah, bring it to daddy, bring that beard oil right over here because daddy's going to fucking try it there. So I got a beard oil, and then the thing that they had next to it said balm. Said shave, it said, beard balm or whatever. But what it was is a shaving cream. So I bought that, and then I've since learned that it's a shaving cream. But you know what? It also says that you can use it on like really dry skin or whatever. So I've been rubbing it. Really dry. I'm not really dry, but I've been rubbing it just on the back of my hands and kind of in my hands a little bit. And, so it's like a clear, it's like a thick, almost like a salve texture. But it smells unbelievable. Just smells so clean. So part of me is like, once I get my beard lined up at the place on Friday, I'll make sure that I use this stuff and fucking shave it up. Again, I've got, can you hear that? Can you hear that, guys? That's the neck beard line. I got to get that lined up. But you know what I do love is the fact that I'm fucking with my beard right now and there's no dandruff. Whereas like before I could fucking just touch my beard and I'd see a couple of little white specks on my, not flakes, but just little specks like somebody had sanded drywall near me. Anywho, I dig the stuff. It smells good. I'm going to try the beard balm when I'm done. I think I might even start to not beard, but beard oil. But I've now noticed that I actually placed an order for another beard company that I saw reviewed, and it worked, man. These reviews, they're talking about this products, and one scent in particular that like unanimously every person who reviews this product says this one's their best. So I ordered some stuff of that. I'm waiting for that to come, but I'm definitely beard curious in terms of my, what I'm getting, but I'm kind of playing the field right now. Looking to see who's going to be my beard care provider long term. But Lucky 10 en Provence, I got their, I don't even know if I'm saying that. L'Occitane, L'Occitane en Provence. They've got, I've got their beard oil and I've got their shaving stuff. So I'm going to go through my old Dollar Shave Club, Dr. Carver's Easy Shave Butter. I'll go through all that stuff before I graduate up to this stuff. But if it ends up being good, then maybe I'll treat myself every now and again to a little tube of a shaving cream there. But I would like to have, I think that at the beard balm, I'd really like to have the matching stuff. If I'm going to use one, it's going to be the oil and the balm have the same fragrance together, because there's no point in putting two competing scents together. At least nothing I can, unless it's like unscented and then you put something with a scent on it. But, I'm digging the fucking beard oils, baby. Makes me feel like my face is worth looking at. Okay. Number 3, Aesop. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly. I believe it's Aesop, like Aesop's Fables, AESOP. Another beauty care, health and wellness, store. I went in there to be a purchase for someone the other day, and they were like letting me try creams and hand stuff and wash my hands. And I'm trying all this different stuff. And of course it feels amazing. My hands feel soft and good afterwards. And as a guy, I do work with my hands, and I've worked with my hands in the past, but my hands are my hands. I use them for a lot of things. And I've seen guys with just big, thick, callousy fingers, big fucking sausage fingers from years of working them. So like I also, these are the same hands, you know what I mean? That you would put on your partner, right? In a caressing manner. I don't know. I'm not like, I want my hands soft. I just don't want my hands turning into fucking, you ever like work on a small project with super glue and you get some on your fucking fingers and you end up having those goddamn shells, like the calluses, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just on there and rough. Like, just imagine touching someone with that all the time. Like, hey baby, come here. Like, at the end of the day, you put your hands on your partner, right? What woman would want you to squeeze her titty with a bunch of fucking, scars all over? I don't know. Like, it's just, that's the thing to me. Is like, I don't have weird hands, but I'm just like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to take them and go. I mean, I wash my hands frequently. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a little OCD, but my hands clean. Like, I'm not one of those people who can eat a meal and get grease on my fingers and then just take a napkin and wipe it off and be like, okay, the napkin got it all. Bullshit. There's still grease like around your fingernails. You know what I mean? Theoretically, right? If someone got in there, like, everyone's like, wipe their hands. You go to the bathroom, they're like, oh, look, there's a little mustard, or there's a little bit of that sauce still on my nail. But like, that's the thing. I want my hands clean. So like, I wash my hands after I touch shit. If I touch something dirty, I fucking wash my hands. There's almost no scenario where if I touch some substance where I'm not like, when I cook, I am fucking constantly back and forth. Like the idea of just wiping your hands on the towel in front of the stove and then there's still shit all over your hands and you're opening the fridge and touching things and grabbing salt and pepper, like communal objects and just leaving, contaminants on it, other substances. I don't know. It's gross. But Aesop, yeah, they're letting me wash my hands. They showing me scrubs and everything like that. I purchased this stuff. It was expensive, but I bought it was like $69, and it's like this scrub because now with my sleep apnea machine, I guess I don't know what's going on with my physiology, but I'm starting to break out real bad on my neck. Maybe it's just the summertime or what, but there's a strap that holds my sleep apnea mask on and goes around the back of my neck, and I'm just breaking out real bad there. So I showed them. They go like, we went in there, we were waiting for a customer, and they're like, so what areas would you like to? I'm like, fuck, I don't know. I'm a guy. I'm like, you know what? Actually, I'm breaking out in the back of my neck. You got something that'll help keep that? And then this, they showed me a bunch of things, but the scrub was what they had suggested most. And I go, fuck it, I'll try it. Why not? It lasts me a while too, but it's like, it's definitely a high end store, but, like this is it. Like I said, these are stores I never visited, but I now like in the Rideau Center. Aesop's one of them. The staff was incredible. We had a great experience with our winner in that store. So that's a store that I would still pop into and probably ask questions. You know what I mean? And if I'm feeling particularly flush, might even indulge. But it's certainly one that I would say, like, you don't go to Shoppers Drug Mart, or Rexall or whatever, Walgreens, and then go, well, the stuff that here's not working. Let's go to Aesop. I mean, there's definitely some rungs on the ladder you can climb prior to that, but, good spot nonetheless. I'm going to go bang out the lawn. I'm going to switch the laundry over, and then I'm going to come back and do number 2 and number 1. All right. Be right back. You won't even notice. I'm going to hit pause. I'll be right back. You won't even notice. Okay. I'm back. You didn't even know I was gone. I even had a chance to go in and bother Jason in his room. He's still asleep. That fucking lush bastard. Okay. Oh, how fun is that? I call him a lush because he drinks all the time and fucks around, but that's also the name of my number 2 store. How about that? That just worked out nicely. It's a store for alcoholics. No. Lush is another health and beauty store. What do you know, guys? And again, you think about this list. This is stores I've never been to. I'm right. I'm not saying that like if I was ever to go to a mall, it's all about health and beauty, but I'm telling you, these are stores I never would have gone into before. And now that I'm going in, I'm learning to listen. Like I said, I get it, ladies. I get it. I get the self-care. Feels nice, and walking around soft all day makes you feel good. Makes you want to present yourself better. And I think I need a little bit of that in my life. I need to love me a little more. And I'm telling you, rubbing all these goofy fruit and vegetable combination oils on myself it's making me excited. It's making me excited, guys. I have a scrub. Lush gave me some samples. So I've actually got 2 different shampoos that I can sample. I'm going to sample one called Big when I get out of this. I'm going to jump in the shower. I'm going to fucking scrub a dub the old guy. Me, not Jason. But Lush is great. We've been going to them. They got bath bombs. I'm not a big bath guy to begin with, but they got the bath bombs smell nice. And I know ladies like them. So maybe if I was ever in the market to buy a special lady, a bath bomb or something, then perhaps that would be the place that I would go. To Lush. But they got all sorts of cool shit. Like they have like a dry toothpaste, like tablets. So you basically throw one in your mouth, a little water, and then you just fucking brush your teeth, that's a cool thing because it saves you from having to, waste your liquid, budget, when you're traveling. So you've only got so many, your liquid allotment. So if you're bringing toothpaste and mouthwash, because they have little mouthwash tabs too, they're dry. They don't count towards that. So, you can use it for cosmetics and things like that. So again, ladies listening who, may be interested in Lush, toothpaste tabs, mouthwash tabs, right? Now you got something you can carry with you. It is not working against your liquid allotment for TSA travel. So hot tip from me to you. They got so much cool shit there. Like, and it's all handmade. I don't know really how like organic it is. Like one of the samples they gave me was a shampoo called Daddio, and it's purple. and it looks like it's like metallic purple. So again, I don't think there's a whole lot in nature that would do that unless they've got, mercury in it or something like that. So they're all handmade, beauty products or whatever, but I don't know how organic they are. I'm not trying to shit on them. Everything they have is super cool. Like the I think it's called, there's Daddy-O and then there's Big. And Big is like sea salt and scrub. It looks like tapioca pudding, or rice pudding, I should say. Maybe tapioca pudding too. I don't know. But it looks like rice pudding, right? And it's like sea salt in there and stuff. So I'm going to go in and scrub it into my hair and see how good I feel. If I like it, I'll probably end up fucking buying a jar of it today. Spending a lot of money in these places, but I'm having fun. I'm making money making people's dreams come true. So when I spend a little bit over the course of the day in stores I never would have been to, like I said, I'm a good consumer. I go in there, I'm like, oh, I like this. I'll buy some. It's actually helping them all out too, because it's like every time I go into a new store I didn't know, like I am spending money I wouldn't have spent in otherwise. So even the fact that I'm part of the initiative, I'm still, buying stuff too. And it's getting me to the mall every day. I'll tell you that. So I don't know, I'm having fun, but Lush has got some cool stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. They got all sorts of stuff I don't understand at all. There's powders and that. And of course, I can't just stand there for an hour and shop. I'm waiting for someone to make a purchase and so I can surprise and delight. But while I wait, sometimes I'll get my team to, you guys watch the cash for me. I want to ask some questions. Again, big shout out to my team. Jad, Lamise, and Nick. I love working with the guys. We've had some great people on the staff as well. And of course, I'm not seeing them all day because they're out doing their own thing, passing out gift cards and stuff like that. But everyone's thumbs up. They're happy at the end of the day. We're having a blast. Having an absolute blast. And the number one store I never visited, but I now like in the Rideau Center is a place called Sage. S-A-J-E. S-A-J-E. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So they were on my list and I didn't even know how to pronounce it. I was like, is it actually Sage or is it like Sage or something like that? Sage, just Sage. I walked in there last week because they were on our list. And we were like, hey, we're doing the surprise and delight. We're telling the one person that was working there. Jenna was her name. Phenomenal employee. She might be the manager or something. I don't know. Never asked, but she was great. We walked in and she's like, do you want to try this Peppermint Halo? And I was like, what's that? She's like, oh, it's like an essential oil for headaches or whatever. And, we'll just put a couple drops in the back of your neck. You rub it in and, let us, it's supposed to help with headaches and this and that, whatever. And I was like, yeah, sure. Whatever. I mean, it's a sample. Fuck, why not? Rub it in. And I'm like, okay, anyways, they didn't have any customers at the time. We're like, we'll come back later or whatever. We'll keep checking in on you guys so we can do one of these things, blah, blah, blah. Leave. I'm walking around, and like 5 minutes or so later, it was just me and Lamise that day. Actually, I believe that was Thursday. And I'm like, this shit amazing. Like it was warming on the neck. It was like the peppermint and everything like that. I was like, fuck, I think this stuff's amazing. I think I really like this stuff. So when we were back later on, we did a pay for purchase. Someone made their day, whatever. But I just remember being like, how much of this? It's $28 for a bottle of it. But Jenna was saying how she uses it 4 times a day and it lasts her like 2 months. So I'm like, okay, well, that's reasonable. I don't think I'd use it 4 times a day. I think I might use it 4 times a day. I haven't yet. I think I do it maybe once a day, but I was just like, yeah, this stuff's incredible. And I've visited their store a few times. They're one of the stores that like, if we have a little bit of a budget left, we try to pop in and get some for somebody, but that Peppermint Halo shit is gotta be the number one thing that they sell. Even being there, people walking in, I'm looking at their other stuff cause I'm like, these things are amazing. I bought some oils to put in my diffuser. It's one called Warm and Spicy. I really like that. There's like 3 different things in there, but, I really like the warm and spicy mix. Thoroughly like the warm and spicy mix. Daddy likey. Yeah. And I've been putting in my diffuser. Fuck. Their store's amazing. They've got less of their hand sanitizer is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I got to buy some of that too. I'm trying not to like blow my whole, paycheck on these stores, but I love going into that store. The oils smell incredible. The little rollers that they have ones that help you sleep. There's one that says like snore away. Now I don't know how putting on an essential oil could open up your airwaves. Like a lot of snoring is due to sleep apnea and stuff like that. So, I mean, who knows, but the smells are incredible. Like just to be carrying around these scents and absorbing these scents, that in and of itself is amazing. But they're all essential oil. It's an essential oil store effectively and things like that. And I know Red takes issue with my essential oil stuff. But yeah, it's a nice little thing. Love the store. I have purchased, quite a few of the Peppermint Halo for other people. Cause I'm like, I love this shit. I love this shit. I have my own little bottle, and I even put it on Jason. I was like, try this. And he's like, asked him 20 minutes later, hey, fucking nice. It smells good. It feels good. But yeah, Sage. Sage is my jam. And I feel like I might actually, I got to be careful. It's not cheap. But, as a little treat to myself every now and again, if I, add a little roller or another little vial to my collection of diffuser oils or whatever. Like I said, their hand sanitizer is great. It smells wonderful. I would use the Sage stuff over anything else, hands down. But yeah, so I think that's my jam. And I look forward to going back there again. I know I'll be there today. Give me another fucking hit me on the neck. Hit me with that Peppermint Halo. I'm having the best day of my life. That's her, guys. That's my top 5. Top 5 stores I never visited, but now like in the Rideau Center, H&M, L'Occitane en Provence, Aesop, Lush, and Sage. I'm gonna get my ass in gear, guys. It's 20 after 10. I have to jump in the shower and do all my beard stuff, and then get dressed and head on down for the last day. This is your last warning too. Today. If you hear this, whatever time, people out west, you get a little bit more time because we're 3 hours ahead of you, but this people out east, holy shit, you better move your fucking ass. You listen to this at if it's 2:00 my time when you listen to this, the stores are almost closed. Get your ass in there. Find someone in a blue shirt. Get yourself a gift card. Or if you see someone in a blue shirt in a store, you might want to go in there and say, hey, are you guys paying for purchases? I know you can't tell me, but I just, I'd really like this t-shirt. Does that work for you guys? Big thank you to Cadillac Fairview for this initiative, and big thank you for, selecting yours truly to lead a team of people. Suckers. No, I'm kidding. I've been taking it very seriously. I love what I'm doing. I want to make sure that people have the greatest experiences. I'm having so much fun. I am so disappointed that it's over. Yeah. But what a great time. What a great way to make money, to be paid to go around and make people's day. Amazing. I would do this job forever. Honestly, if it was an ongoing initiative, I would fucking do this job forever. I absolutely would. I've had a blast. I hope you guys have a great week. Remember, contact at onemanpodcast.com to send in your emails, anything that you want to know, stories, whatever it is. I will share it with the onesies. If this is your first time listening, thank you so much for checking out my podcast. I really appreciate you being here with me. And yeah, coming up this week, like I said, I got my beard, my beard's getting done, by like a good beard spot. I saw a guy get a badass fucking beard done, at the spot. I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't know how that beard can hold like that, but that's amazing. So I'm hoping that this is the spot that's going to be like my beard jam. They're right down the street from where I do comedy. So it'd be a great spot to be able to just go in and keep my shit on point. I get my second poke Sunday. So next time I talk to you guys, your boy will go from half vaxxed to fully vaxxed. And I got one more day. Maybe I'll find another store I was unaware of and have some more fun stuff to tell you guys, or make someone's day, have a great little anecdote for you. But until then, I hope you guys have the best week ever, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.